This daf Yom Yerushalmi in the article Oz V'Hara edition where daf Chav Dal and Rav. We're going to start from the third line down, Isa Tmei, Isa Torah. And in the Vilna, that is mamish right at the top of Yudal and the base, first words on the page. Isa Tmei, Isa Torah. So yesterday we said the bias is Yitzarif, things, a house is Yitzarif, things where you're not mak, where you're not making a service, where you mixing together would not be a problem. So then being in the same house is considered as if it's mixed. But something where you're making a Torah, so with your problem, it's not considered as if it's mixed. So Isa Tmei and Isa Torah, we don't want it to mix to be mixed because it's going to cause your the challah to become tummy. So therefore, Isa says more Isa Tmei, Isa Torah. If we have you have the Tamei dough and Torah dough, also the Torah Shum Makri Torah, they regard it as saying where you're Makri and Torah best, and therefore, not Mitzayif. Then now we should have a gears instead of Yisas Challah, it should be the Isot Chila. The Isot Chila, that which Rabbi Lezer says that you can be marfish by touching a piece less of dough, less the size of kibetza, the two doughs, the tummy and the Torah, so that the tummy one should not be metame the Torah one, and nevertheless the challah will remain, and as a result the challah remain tuma. That's by Isa Tchila. By one of the Isos is a Rishon L'Tuma, the other star of course. Ava be Isa Shnia. But when the Isa is Shein L'Tuma, even when they're touching, the Torah dough does not become tummy. Because Isa, which is the dough, which is Teva for the purpose of Challah, in other words, Challah is not even taken off, it's not as good as it's Challah, it's just Chulin. So far it's still Chulin, and Sheni does not make Shlishi by Chulin. So therefore it can't become tummy. So therefore it's not a problem. Or argue say that that dough which is suitable for challah is if it's challah, and therefore even when the other dough is a sheni l'tuma, vlada tuma, it can't be mitzaref them because ultimately it couldn't make we're afraid that they're going to touch it, and it's going to make the isat v'lachala tummy. So therefore as a shlishi, even though the challah is time shlishi, but it's we're saying that it's as if it's the truma has been taken off. So the again, at least some shnia when the dough is a sheni, so then ain la sheni magal, it's a tevel. A sheni does not make any tevel. In this case, the tevel for purpose of challah, it does not make a time. Tani Rabbi Loi. But it's Rabbi Loi from other Masechtas. Amar b'Shum Rabbi Lezer. Typing a tar al Tami Belach. As a Tosefta in Shumas Perek Gimel, Price Yudches, brought down in Yerushalmi in Shumas Perek Beis Halacha Aleph. Rabbi Lezer holds they can take Truma from Torah and Tami as specifically by moist foods, as we shall learn. But by dry foods, Rabbi Lezer concedes you can't take Truma from Torah and Tami because we're afraid to take Truma. Shalom Yamukov. Okay, so let's see that side. Obviously, sorry. Tani Rabbi Loi, B'Amar B'Shum Rabbi Lezer. Tani Torah L'Tamei B'Lachi. Take Torah to take Truma from Torah and Tamei when it's moist. Okay, it's that how so. Kovash Zeisim B'Tuma. If you started soaking, well, it's actually really pressing, but it's not for initial stage of the pressing. So the conversation betuma, you there's actually initial stages where you gather them into a large basket. So conversation betuma vum actually turn matara when we may take a chum matara maybe a mashpech shema piyakabeit, so you bring a I call it a spout, but that's not the way, a funnel. You bring a funnel which cannot hold in the mouth of the funnel kibetza. Amalia so zaysim, and you fill it full of so it can't receive tuma. And you put fill it full of olives. No, so you put it on top of the jug, and the the jug of the oil, it's all full of olives. So since the olives in the funnel are touching the olives in the barrel, but not having a beitza there, so even though they're makabel tuma from the tzir, from the moisture in the barrel, not matami others until they have themselves a kibetza. So the upper olives within the funnel don't become tummy. Even though the ones in the chavis, in the jug, are tummy, there's no tziruf to matame the olives which are in the funnel. Again, it's a conversation between the taste name of tummy. You want to take a chum matara. Maybe matcha shouldn't be a beta. You bring a funnel which does not have in its mouth the size of a beta, so it can't transmit tuma. Mamai so zaysin full of olives. Nice up here. Obviously, put it on the top of the jug. For nimsa term namukav, you take a chuma minamukaf. So normally pasuk a beta. Why less a beta? I feel a beta even up to a beta precisely. Since each olive is considered to be independent and not considered to be a connection in terms of tuma, so then even they can't be choser matami the olives on in the top part of the yeah, what the word is they just used a funnel. Okay, so the Gemara says. Normally, pachas mikabetza. Why do you like to wait to feel kabetza? Right? It just said that their airspaces or whatever. So you make a beta. V'lo piruninu. Are they not crumbs? So the how to go to Batame, the individual olives in there, the whatever is a funnel. What's the problem? So the Gemara answers, you're right. Even if the funnel has a size of a beta, that olive is not going to tame. That say less than a beta is that there shouldn't be a lot of olives touching the tame olives at the same time in order to diminish the amount of tumor which is gene generated. Should be like one narrow surface area touching, nothing else should be touching. Amalei said, so the Chum said, there's nothing called lach, moist, in terms that you should be able to take truma from Torah Tameh, except wine and oil. But olives, even once they are aging in their brine, they're not considered to be moist. And the seeds that you don't take truma min Torah Tameh because they're afraid that you'll take also shalom min mukaf, specifically where it's dry and therefore I guess distinct and separate. So the Gemara asks, how can you return minamukah by wine and oil and yet not have the tahor become tummy? Kora achas l'shtei boros. You take one beam and put it over two boros, which are in front of it. So the where there was one is tummy. And it works. The entire don't join. Shtei koros lebor echad. If you put two beam, did I just read that? Yeah, sorry, wait. Echad be korah shtei koros boros. One korah for two boros. The Tosefta says when the olives are pressed in the Beis Habad underneath one board, one beam, and oil flows from the olive press to two boros, which are in front of it, or the scenario where the olives are pressed in the two beams, and the oil flows to them into the bor, and then it's going to be a mukaf, and you turn mina bor even tar and tummy. Anyway, the what it says, one korah for one boros, one to two boros, or shtei koros lebor echad, or two koros for one all around. Well, So the Gemara asks, well, actually, was I just mina mukaf, not mina mukaf. If it's say about one crore for two burrows, or two crores for one boar, so then the Gersa here is in the Leib Yerushalmi from the Rashi and the Gra and Yerushalmi Chumos that one car for two bars I can get. And the state cars the bar echad, two cars for one bar. Let me keep shouldn't make so ain't cool to tummy. Once it becomes partially becomes tummy, does the entire thing become tummy? How's it going to work? So the Gemara says, it seems to say kor achas the state bars, the state cars the bar echad. Both of them are good scenarios. The Gemara says, how can it be? Again, it's not in the Gemara itself. Hanicha kor achas state baros. Okay, it's two separate baros. So if the one car can make them in a mukah, but and it can remain one tar and one tar, but state cars the bar echad. How can that work? And we came mikzah, so ain't good tummy. It was not part become tummy, entire thing tummy. Rabbi Hila b'Shem said tipot teshua b'dayis l'sosan tfisa achas. He says about when Ishi wanted to put them in one bar, then he changed his mind, put them in two boros. Since initially he had in mind to make them one bar instead of mina mukaf, even though he didn't put them in the same bar. It's a very big chiddush. So again, the daikla sosan tfisa achas v'nimlach, and he changed my masosh tfisos. That's when it became tamei. Mishishla, once the wine is drawn from the bar. Mishikifa, once you remove the dregs, the seeds and the skin. Shirpanir the term batara, because then if they got to that full stage of being prepared to be truma, it's this koroi bila makevespo. Avo im nitma. I don't know if that's the right term I was going to use here. I was going to use another term to slip my mind, actually. Okay, that's what it is. Avo im nitma actually but it came time before you remove the dregs. Actually, before you remove the wine from the press and put it into the storage pool. Actually, kipa, and before you remove the sediment, lobada. So then you can't say there was a mitzvah because never mitzvah at the time when it was never royal tzir at the time when it was already muchayev in chumas. Rabbi Tavi, Rabbi Yeshe, B'Shem, Rabbi Yonasan, Halakha, Rabbi Eliezer. The Amoroi. These are my say that you can tar minatar alatame bilach, where it's moist, because as if it's mixed together. Rabbi Yitzchak Barachmi, Shem Yoshe said halacha Rabbi Eliezer. Well, same thing. Abuna B'Shem Chanin said ain't halacha Rabbi Eliezer. Halacha Rabbi Eliezer is not good enough that you could do it. It's a mukam has to be actually done. Ravuna B'Shem Chanin said ain't halacha Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Yosef Rabuna Rabbi Yehuda B'Shem Elo Shmuel said ain't halacha Rabbi Eliezer. Asa uvda kumei v'lohori. So they came for Rabbi Yami. He didn't want to paskin like Rabbi Eliezer. Armand said tarte kol kaval treinun. He said, since the two Amoraim would say Elos like Eliezer, two Amoraim would say Elos not like Rabbi Eliezer. I don't want to paskin like Rabbi Eliezer. So it says Gemara, sorry. Amalei Bob Rabbi Yitzchak Bar Nachman Morei. So Rabbi Yitzchak Nachman paskin like Rabbi Eliezer Lechamaisa. Right, you can make it so mina mukaf even without them actually touching. I feel okay, Lahori. He didn't want to pass that way. It was not persuaded by the logic. Okay, so that's the next mission. The first mission of the next paragraph. You can eat a temporary snack from the dough without chal being taken until it gets well formed. Bechite in wheat, or to samtis. Samtis min. The time he says here, the time to maim. You can't mix barley dough to the same consistency. So therefore, it doesn't have to be fully dough in order to be chay b'challah, just to be clumped together. And so he eats from this, and it's only like this. Right? It's chay misa. Kemichin says it's a mime. Once the woman puts in the water, makbas chalasa, she can take away the challah. But she is shem chadesh is only kamach as long as you have 5 ruboim of kemach. Okay, I think that brings us to the end for this evening, because Ray is the next parak and next summer, which counts. Yeah, so we'll come back to this tomorrow with the Gemara.